Welcome to the Red River Valley of North Dakota. A land flowing with milk and honey. You're watching Beet Farmin Mitch. There's nothing quite like the stillness when you're out in the country on a calm day. Welcome to the Red River Valley. I am Beet Farmin Mitch, and today we're gonna go on a little crop tour. We've been on a number of these, but we're just gonna go on a quick little swing through the countryside, give you a little crop update, show you how things are looking. Let's get cruising. They're looking pretty good. I'm pretty impressed. You can see where it kind of humps up a little bit. That's a drain tile line. This field got drain tiled. This is the one I planted at an angle, and it is looking really good. Now, for a lot of the upper Midwest, the first part of this year, first half of this growing season was super wet. We got a lot of rain as well, but we were right at the point where like our ditches were full, losing low holes in the fields, but then it kind of soaked in and we didn't get as much rain. But we were kind of at the line, maybe over it a little bit before we started losing. If we would have got a couple more inches of rain at the wrong time, we could have lost a lot more portion of our crop, or a much greater portion. But we didn't. It's been hot and dry these last few weeks. Things have really grown, and actually the soil is getting dry up here and we could use some more rain. There is moisture down there. The plants are established. They're alive, but it is getting dry. I'm not seeing any weed problems out here. Sprayed those once, and there's no weed problems. And you can see we got a good canopy, good cover. So the weeds that, if they do germinate, they shouldn't make it through that. And the pods are filling out, so a rain right now would be great. They need a lot of moisture to continue to fill these pods out. And they already kind of flowered. The flowers, you can see a few on here. Some purple flowers there. I better follow my same path because I knocked quite a bit of beans down coming out here. So I think we got a rogue soybean growing here. So right after I seeded this field, they graded the road and kind of pulled the shoulder in a little bit. So we have some rogue soybeans growing in the middle. Most of the wheat grown in our region is spring wheat, meaning you plant it in the spring. And there is also winter wheat, which that you plant in the fall, and it grows, well, it kind of goes dormant over the winter, and then you harvest it more in July. But so we got hard red spring wheat here. You can see it's kind of starting to get the amber waves of grain color to it. It's a little too early to spray it. We'll spray it and desiccate it, and then we will be able to harvest our fields more efficiently, and they'll be more even. So that, we got some wild oats here. I tell you what, this is one weed that can cause some troubles. So these are wild oats, and if you get an outbreak of one of these in your wheat field and you don't spray it or catch it, it can cause some problems. Just to make sure. Nice full heads of grain. I tell you, if there's two crops that look really good this year, it's the wheat and it's the sugar beets. The beans, they look nice for the most part. That's going to depend if we keep getting some timely rains, but the wheat crop, I'm expecting a very full wheat crop up here, and I'm also expecting a good beet crop thus far. This is a really, really nice looking sugar beet crop out here. I'm not trying to bring you to all our best looking fields. It's just the ones that I happen to be driving by. Have seen some more weed pressure this year. I don't know if that's because of all the moisture or what that may be exactly. But as far as the sugar beets go, really good stand. They all came up pretty good. Some low spots are gonna get dinged, so there is gonna be some of that. But as far as this field goes, this is a really nice field. And it looks like we got a squatter out there. As we're going to evict the squatter, you can pull a leaf out here. This leaf looks really nice. If there was little brown circular dots on it, that would probably be a leaf disease called Cercospora leaf spot, which is one of the main diseases that we need to protect against. All right, let's pull up a beet. Oh yeah, that's a nice one. Nice white taproot, not diseased. This is a really good looking sugar beet. This is an end of July special. man, really got the leaves on it. The beet's really looking good. Obviously it's the beet that matters. Leaves don't really matter as much. It's the beet, it's the sugar, it's the tons that you get out of that. So this is a sugar beet bolter. Sugar beets are a biennial crop, meaning that it takes 2 years for them to grow, right? But we don't grow them for seed, we grow them for the beets themselves. So we harvest them in 1 year. We plant them April, May, harvest them August until October, mostly October. But sometimes they will bolt. If you've ever planted carrots in your yard, you might have some ones that bolt. It's kind of a root crop like that. And so we actually have to remove these for seed genetic reasons. So I'll do my brother a solid and dispose of that for him. Typically the beet seed is harvested out in the mountain regions out west. Washington, Oregon, those places. The bolters need to be removed by August 1st, and I tell you, if there's one person on the farm who loves bolter removing, they probably wouldn't tell you this if you asked them what their favorite job is, but it's my dad. He's been boltering hard these last 2 days. He just gets up and just starts removing bolters. He loves removing them. I don't know what it is, he just likes doing that. I actually went to a sugar beet meeting with people around the world. Super interesting. If I got to meet you there and talk with you, that was very nice. Thank you. But I met a couple English chaps, and they referred to sugar beet bolters as weed beets. I think that's what they were talking about, was bolters. They call them weed beets in England, so I thought that was kind of interesting. But if anybody asks, we know that sugar from the USA is always the best. And if you want the really good stuff, you got to buy American Crystal sugar. That'll get you going. I always like that noise that the cottonwood trees make. This is one of my favorite fields. It's got these nice big cottonwood shelter belts. It's not one of my favorite fields if there's a big windstorm though, and this is full of branches. Have had a couple miserable days out here, but I do enjoy working out in this field. My family's farmed this field for many years, probably since 1880. The home quarter is just right behind me, across the road. That's where they originally settled. So we're out in the pinto beans now, and they are flowering. You can see the flowers on there. No pods yet. Those flowers will kind of turn into pods, but they're flowering, and then they're kind of sticking their little hands up here. This is a really good looking field of pinto beans as well. Biggest problem with pinto beans, yes, another fungal disease, white mold. That's probably the biggest one. We're currently in the process of spraying through our fields, kind of as they're ready, as they're flowering. It's actually a little smoky out. Canadian wildfires kind of blowing some smoke down in this area. Gosh, I don't really remember that as a kid. I don't know if that's just me. Did this happen back before 2000? Was there ever Canadian wildfire smoke down here in North Dakota? It just seems like it's been non-stop. Kind of sucks the sun out of the days. Can pull one up. They're different than a soybean. They got a little different root structure. Not too bad though. They still got nodes on them. Again, a little bit of insect damage, but nothing too bad. Things are hanging in there. We did row cultivate all of our pinto beans this year. Or, yeah, I think we got every single field of them. Reason for that, there was a lot of weed pressure this year, and we had a pretty good crop out there, so we wanted to take care of that. So we did that, and we also sprayed them for weeds and still had some escapes. We kind of had really been wrestling the weeds in the pinto beans this year. So that one's got a matching shelter belt across the county road there. And my ancestors, back in the day, these little patch here, well, we got 24 rows of corn going back around the trees. I'll show it to you here. So I seeded wheat over on that strip, and then this one we got corn here. And so yeah, these used to be alfalfa strips back in the day. So now we just put 24 rows of pretty much corn or wheat back here. You can see some of them tasseling. Most of the corn that we grow is farther ahead than this. We don't have a whole lot of corn this year. Oh, we got some silk on the corn cob silks on the camera lens. Corn is tasseling. That is the male part of the plant, fun fact. Corn plants are monoecious, meaning they're both male and female. And this is the female part, which is the cob. And fun fact, every silk goes to a kernel. Thank you for tagging along with me on this little end of July crop tour. We'll keep you posted. Grain and beets are just around the corner, guys. So make sure you subscribe and stick around for that. And yeah, of course, don't forget to keep it sweet.